204 years ago, there was a quiet revolution. This wasn't a revolution of guns and bombs and blood. It was the invention of a process. And it was a process that has forever changed how we eat. What happened in 1810 was that a British merchant by the name of Peter Durand invented and was patented for the process of preserving food in these tin cans. Now, they may seem ubiquitous today, a part of everyday life, but it was miraculous to the people at the time, and they spread quickly to every corner of the earth. Because what had happened up until that time was that people were eating food that was fresh, and they were eating food that was local, and they were eating food that was seasonally available. But after 1836, that all changed, and the can became the de facto way of preserving meat, vegetables, fruit, you name it. It went into cans. So with Peter Durand's invention, we got convenience, but we lost something. What we sacrificed was the ability to have fresh food when we wanted fresh food. My name is Rick Brewer, and I am the founder of Little Gray Farms. And Little Gray Farms is the only operating escargot farm in the United States. And we're offering fresh escargot, domestically grown, uncanned. So I will not deny that preserving food in cans is a perfectly acceptable way of keeping food long-term. But it is not a satisfactory substitute for eating food that is fresh. That same fundamental holds true for escargot. Put a snail in a can, and it does no favor for its flavor or its texture. You may be surprised to find out that 99% of the escargot eaten in this country comes in cans. And all of those cans are shipped here from overseas. And in case you're thinking it's just this little niche food that no one eats, guess what? We consume 60,000 tons of escargot every year in this country. 60,000 tons. That's about $300 million worth of rubbery, tasteless snails. I wanted to do something about that. I knew that you deserve better. You deserve fresh. And that is why I started Little Gray Farms. So escargot is trendy again. It happens. It comes back around. That's the great thing about it. In fact, it was recently ranked number 3 in an issue of Food and Wine magazine as the what's hot food. So chefs who are inventive and like to explore now once again have an option to do that. Take this gentleman, for example. A lot of you may recognize him. He's famed local chef and entrepreneur Tom Douglas. So, great guy. I got to meet him recently at an event, and I asked him, I said, Tom, why don't you serve escargot in any of your 17 restaurants? Kind of pinned him against the wall with that one. And he said, well, you know, I would certainly consider it if I could get them fresh. I don't want to open a can to feed my guests. I've had that same conversation with many chefs, and the sentiment always returned the same. Get us fresh snails, and we will find new and novel ways of putting them on our menus. So I know the joke that escargot is simply a vehicle for butter and garlic. Okay, those are both awesome, tasty ingredients, but there's so much more to them than that. And chefs, given the opportunity, are making new and inventive ways of doing fabulous new dishes. They can put them in mushroom caps and roast them in the oven. They put them in baby turnips with some fennel and some goat cheese. They even put them as topping on pizza. Those are all ways that escargot can be enjoyed. So I've already had several customers that have had to actually double or triple their orders because of initial demand, with several others expressing interest in also wanting to have fresh escargot on their menus. So what is happening here? Well, inventive chefs are recognizing that there's an option, and they have the ability to do that. And Little Gray Farms is providing that. We are literally using something that exists underfoot to feed people. So when raising animals, there are 3 things that are required. One is expertise, second is passion, and third is perseverance. People in the know will tell you that an animal that is well cared for will result in a better food product on your plate. So I have 10 years of experience, believe it or not, caring for and studying snails all over the world. So I feel like I am uniquely positioned to be able to bring this here to this country. So at Little Gray Farms, as I said, we're utilizing something that exists, and it's right here underfoot. And not only are we bringing fresh, domestically raised escargot here to this country, but we're also helping to do an education campaign with chefs to let them know and to inspire them that there are other ways to prepare it other than the traditional way in garlic and butter. Snails are literally the original slow food, and you can help us in our goal. And here's how you can help us. I've made it really easy for you. Well, you don't have to tweet, though you can do it. Tweeting's great. I've created these cards. So on one side is information about Little Gray Farms. On the other side is a recipe. So the next time you go to your favorite restaurant, ask them, why don't you have escargot on the menu? Why don't you carry Little Gray Farms escargot on your menu? Give them this card. The recipe might help inspire them to what their next dish may be. I thank you very much for allowing me to tell my story, and happy slow dining to you. Thank you.